Stop. Before you pay your next gas bill, open this video. A $3 copper wire, buried 2 feet underground, no furnace, no gas line, no monthly bill, heating a room all winter long. And the moment the gas industry understood what this wire could do at scale, they spent 40 years making sure you never learned it in school. This is the forbidden grid. They buried the science. We dig it up. Your gas bill last winter was probably between $150 and $400 per month, depending on where you live. The national average American household spends over $1,000 every single winter just on natural gas heating. That is $1,000 every year for a resource that comes out of the ground for free, gets processed, gets piped to your house, and gets billed to you at whatever price the gas company decides to charge that month. Now picture this. The grid goes down. It is January. The temperature outside is 12 degrees. Your furnace is electric ignition. It does not work without power. Your gas line is intact, but the pressure regulator on the street requires electricity to function. Your family is sitting in a house that is dropping 1 degree every 40 minutes. You have $3 worth of copper wire in your garage, and in the next 2 hours, you can install a system that will keep one room of your home survivably warm using nothing but the temperature difference between the frozen ground above and the stable earth below. This is not fantasy. This is geothermal heat exchange, a principle so simple and so powerful that Soviet engineers used it to heat remote Siberian outposts during the Cold War, completely off-grid. That indigenous communities across the American Southwest used passive earth cooling and heating for over 2,000 years, and that the modern gas heating industry has spent decades. Ensuring remains classified in most people's minds as something that requires expensive professional equipment and permits costing thousands of dollars. It does not. The wire in your garage is enough to start. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn 4 things. First, exactly why the ground 2 feet below. Your feet is always between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit, regardless of what the air temperature is above ground. Second, exactly how a $3 copper wire creates a heat exchange pathway between that stable underground temperature and the air in your living space. Third, the exact survival installation any person can complete in 2 hours with basic tools. And fourth, why the $1.2 trillion global natural gas industry needs you to believe this technology requires professional installation, costing $15,000 or more. Stay until the instructions. Because there is one measurement error most people make that cuts the system efficiency by 60%. Welcome to the Forbidden Grid. Subscribe now and hit the bell. The villain in this story is not the electric company. You have heard about them before. This time the villain is the gas industry, and the numbers are worth understanding before we go any further. The global natural gas market generates $1.2 trillion in revenue every single year. In the United States alone, residential natural gas heating accounts for over $40 billion in annual consumer spending. The average American family that heats with natural gas has been doing so for decades, has no viable alternative installed, and has no realistic option to switch when gas prices spike, which they do, every single winter. The gas companies know this. The lock-in is deliberate. When a home is built with gas heating infrastructure, it costs between $8,000 and $20,000 to convert to an alternative system. Most families never do it. They pay the bill every month for 30 years because the switching cost feels too high. What the gas industry has never wanted you to calculate is the switching cost compared to the 30-year cumulative bill. At $1,000 per winter, a family pays $30,000 in gas heating bills over 30 years. The geothermal heat exchange system we are going to discuss today costs $3 in materials for a single room survival installation. $3 versus $30,000. That is the number the gas industry needs you to never sit down and calculate. The history of earth-based heating goes back so far that calling it alternative energy is almost insulting to the concept. 2,000 years ago, the indigenous Pueblo peoples of the American Southwest built their homes partially underground, specifically to exploit the stable thermal mass of the earth. The ground below the frost line maintains a constant temperature year-round. In summer, that temperature is cooler than the air above, providing natural cooling. In winter, that temperature is warmer than the frozen air above, providing natural heating. They did not need equations or engineering degrees. They needed observation across generations and the intelligence to act on what they observed. In the 1940s and 1950s, Soviet engineers working on remote Arctic and Siberian installations faced a problem that the gas industry still has no elegant solution to. How do you heat a structure when there is no gas pipeline within 500 miles and no possibility of building one? Their answer was ground heat exchange. Simple copper pipe loops buried below the frost line, filled with a heat transfer fluid connected to a basic radiator system inside the structure. No external energy input beyond the initial circulation pump. The stable ground temperature did the work. These systems ran for decades in some of the most hostile environments on Earth. They did not require $15,000 professional installations. They required physics and copper. In 1912, a Swiss engineer named Heinrich Zöllner filed the first patent for a ground source heat pump. In 1948, Robert Weber in the United States accidentally discovered practical ground source heat exchange while experimenting with a freezer. By the 1970s, during the oil crisis, ground source heat exchange systems were being seriously discussed as a mainstream alternative to fossil fuel heating. Then oil prices stabilized. Gas companies lobbied aggressively against efficiency standards that would have made geothermal exchange mandatory in new construction. Building codes were written that effectively required gas heating infrastructure in residential construction. The conversation went quiet for 40 years. The physics never changed. The ground is still 55 degrees 2 feet below your backyard right now. Here's the science that the gas industry hopes you find too complicated to act on. It is not complicated. The Earth below the frost line is a thermal battery. It absorbs solar energy over the summer months and stores it in the dense thermal mass of soil and rock. That stored thermal energy does not dissipate quickly because soil and rock are poor thermal conductors. The result is that at a depth of approximately 2 to 4 feet below the surface, in most climates across North America, the ground maintains a year-round temperature between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. In deep winter, when surface temperatures drop below zero, that underground temperature stays at 55 degrees. That 55-degree ground temperature is not warm enough to heat a house on its own the way a furnace does, but it is warm enough to create a meaningful temperature differential with the air inside a cold room. And temperature differentials are the engine that drives all heat transfer. Copper is the most thermally conductive common metal available. When copper is buried in earth at 55 degrees and connected to a coil or radiator surface inside a room at 30 degrees, heat flows continuously from the warmer copper underground through the wire to the cooler copper indoors. No pump required for a basic survival installation. No electricity required. No moving parts, just physics. The thermal conductivity of copper is approximately 400 watts per meter per degree Kelvin. That is 8 times more thermally conductive than steel, and 25 times more thermally conductive than the iron pipes your gas furnace uses to distribute heat. $3 of copper wire is a remarkably efficient heat conductor. The gas industry sells you a system with a furnace, a blower motor, ductwork, a thermostat, a gas valve, a pressure regulator, an igniter, a heat exchanger, and a flue. Every single one of those components represents a revenue stream for someone. The copper wire in your garage represents a revenue stream for no one. That asymmetry explains everything. I want to be direct with you because accuracy matters more than a dramatic story. A basic copper wire ground heat exchange installation and survival configuration will not heat your entire house to 70 degrees in January. That is not what this system does, and anyone telling you otherwise is overstating the science. What it will do is maintain one room of your home at a survivable temperature, roughly between 45 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, during an extended grid-down event in winter. In survival terms, that is the difference between hypothermia and safety. It is the difference between your family surviving a 2-week winter grid failure and not surviving it. Used in combination with basic insulation, thermal mass strategies, and body heat concentration in a single small room. The system produces genuinely life-saving results at a cost of $3 and 2 hours of installation time. That is the only claim this channel makes. And it is a claim that is firmly grounded in the thermodynamic physics of heat transfer through copper in soil. Here's exactly what to do. You will need the following materials: 50 feet of copper wire, gauge 12 or thicker, available at any hardware store for approximately $3. This is the same wire used in basic household electrical installations, 2 thin copper sheets, or a coil of thin copper tubing if available, though wire alone works for survival installation. Basic wire connectors. A shovel. That is the complete materials list. Step 1. Identify your installation location. You need a patch of ground directly outside or immediately adjacent to the room you want to heat. The ground must be accessible, meaning not covered by concrete or permanent hardscape. Ideally, the ground should be on the south side of your structure to maximize solar thermal absorption. Mark a rectangle approximately 4 feet by 4 feet. Step 2. Dig your trench. You need to reach a depth of at least 24 inches, which is 2 feet. This is the critical measurement most people get wrong. If you bury your copper at 12 inches, you are still in the zone affected by surface temperature fluctuations. At 24 inches, you are below the frost line in most North American climates and accessing the stable thermal mass. Dig your trench or pit to exactly 24 inches minimum. 30 inches is better. Do not go shallower. This single measurement error reduces system efficiency by 60%. Step 3. Lay your copper. Coil your 50 feet of copper wire in a flat spiral pattern at the bottom of your trench. The goal is maximum surface area contact between the copper and the surrounding soil. Do not bunch or pile the wire. Spread it flat. More surface contact equals more heat transfer. Leave 2 lead wires coming up from your coil and running along the bottom of the trench toward your building entry point. Step 4. Run your lead wires into the building. Route the 2 lead wires along the bottom of the trench, up the exterior wall, and through the smallest possible penetration point into your target room. Use any available sealant around the penetration point to prevent cold air infiltration. Inside the room, coil the remaining wire into a loose spiral on the floor or mount it against an interior wall. This indoor coil is your heat radiator surface. Step 5. Insulate the trench before backfilling. Before you cover your underground coil pack, damp soil directly around and over the copper. Damp soil has significantly higher thermal conductivity than dry soil. If the ground is dry, pour water into the trench before backfilling to improve the thermal contact between the copper and the earth. Then backfill and compact your soil. The system is now operational. Step 6. Concentrate your living space. This is the step that determines whether this system saves your life or merely interests you. Close off all rooms except the one with your copper radiator coil. Hang blankets over doorways and windows. Reduce the volume of air the system needs to warm. One person generates approximately 100 watts of body heat continuously. 2 people in a small insulated room. With a copper ground exchange, coil can maintain a survivable temperature in conditions well below zero outside. The system works. Physics works. Concentration of heat in a small space makes the difference between 45 degrees and 55 degrees in that room. When the grid went down in Texas in February 2021, over 200 people died. Most of them died from cold. Most of them died in their own homes. The natural gas system that was supposed to protect them failed at the infrastructure level. Electric ignition systems failed. Pressure regulators failed. The gas was in the pipe, but it could not reach the burner. 200 people died within a few miles of a resource that could have kept them alive. Because nobody told them about the 55-degree ground 2 feet below their frozen backyard. The $1.2 trillion gas industry does not benefit from you knowing that the ground under your house is a thermal battery that requires no monthly payment, no infrastructure maintenance, no pressure regulator, and no igniter. They benefit from you believing that heating your home requires their product, their pipes, their pricing, and their permission. $3 of copper wire and a shovel says otherwise. That is the forbidden grid. Subscribe now and share this with one person who needs to survive the next grid failure. We publish forgotten survival science every single week. The grid is still live. We will see you in the next one. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Ground heat exchange performance varies significantly based on soil composition, moisture content, climate zone, installation depth, and available copper surface area. The survival installation described is intended as an emergency supplemental heat source only and should not be relied upon as a primary heating system. Always follow local building codes and safety regulations. In a genuine emergency, seek official emergency services and guidance. The creator takes no responsibility for outcomes resulting from application of techniques shown in this video.